Oh shit. Okay, we're good.
Alright, guys. So this is a strange
Welcome back
video.
to our WhatsApp channel.
So what's happening is Shimobi is taking a break from talking about Donald Trump, so that we can talk about something more pressing.
Something more. Is it pressing?
No, it's not pressing. Honestly, it's not pressing. It's just sad. So I don't know how many of you have seen it, but if you have not, you might not want to watch this video right now. Have you
Spoilers.
There's so much spoilers in what's going to happen tonight.
Alright.
Today, this afternoon.
Okay.
So it's about the movie Citation. So when the trailer came out, yeah? Oh,
I was mad.
bro, I'm like, this movie.
I didn't even hear about the movies yet.
No, bro.
I didn't see the trailer.
When I saw the trailer, I'm like, I saved it. I was like, man, it was clean. The trailer was beautiful. The trailer was, I wanted to watch it. I'm like, this is gonna be a really good movie.
Yeah.
This is really gonna be a good movie.
Psych!
Like I said, if you haven't watched the movie, please, I'm going to beg you not to watch this. And honestly, this is not me hating. This is just this is not me. It just wrote.
Okay, it's alright. Just put it down.
So honestly, this is not me hating on the movie. Honestly, I have better things to do. It's just that I did film for my major, man. So we had to,
this stuff.
We had to learn a lot of stuff. Anyway, first things first, that movie was plastic.
Okay, look, you saw the full movie, yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna be
all
honest.
2 hours of it, bro.
Shit. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch the full movie. I saw bits and parts, and that's the reason why I didn't sit to watch, the movie until the end, because I was just watching and in some parts I'm like, what am I watching? Like I just stopped and I just go into my room. I think my friend was over, he was done watching the movie, and I just go into the room, then I think I was chatting or something, then I came out again, I just stood in the parlor and watching. And then there were some moments that was like going up, okay. The next thing it just dropped. I'm like, what? Like, acting. If the guy from Heroes, the professor guy, like I thought he was gonna like be the savior.
See, I'm never going to lie, but it's not his fault.
I blame it on the directing. I blame it on the script as well.
So
the movie had so much potential. The quality was so good. It was so good, but at the end of the day, it was just meh. I think that's my review on the movie. It was meh.
So, okay. Let me be honest. I would like to be honest. I want to give them some accolades for making such movies. Like it was. I don't want to say it was great, but then making that movie in itself was really good. And then I understand that this is Temi's debut movie of her coming out as an actress. Yeah. I give it to her. I give her props.
Yeah, good for that, man.
However, honestly, with everything that happened, this is a very, very important issue they are trying to highlight, and rightfully so. She did the best she could. I'm not saying, I don't want to say she did the best she could, and I just feel her acting could have been better. So I'm not going to talk about her acting because I understand that this affects her acting. I'm not going to talk about Temi. I'm going to talk about the movie itself, the script writing. First of all, the script was trash. The story itself is a really important story. This is something that happens a lot in Nigeria. There was even a documentary about sex for grades in Nigeria. Yeah, so this is a really important thing. So we need something more to address this proper issue. So the script was at best. Honestly, my honest question was, how did they get funding?
Oh yeah.
How was this approved? How did the director read the movie and go like, wow, we should make this? I don't know how that happened, honestly. And my problem is, I recognize that we are growing as Nollywood and we're getting better. But this is Netflix original.
Actually.
So this is what is represent. This is the representation of Nigerian movies to people outside.
Outside, yeah.
So when I'm watching, it's the same way I cannot watch like Christian movies, cause their acting is always so horrible. Or
Oh, you're not wrong about that.
like I wouldn't want to watch the Christian movies. Some of them I can power through because the things they're talking about is really good. But then the acting. So sometimes, let me give you some examples. I'm not trying to give some specific points so that you can actually watch the film. But sometimes, in the film, let's say me and Chimobi are talking. Of course, there's an OTS or there's my own point of view. I'm looking at you. But for the quality of that scene to be reached, don't just, when I'm talking, only put the camera on me talking. Like, interchange it so it feels like a conversation.
So there was also a problem with the editing process as well.
The sound, Jesus. What's happening? Did you use Lavelle mic too?
A good question.
Guys, I'm sorry. I see every time somebody asks me, did you watch the film? I'm like, yeah. So what did you think? I kept talking. I'm like, yeah, I didn't want to talk because I was going to explode. Yeah. And this movie is 2 hours. So let's talk about the structure of the film.
It had a very slow pacing.
It was slow, but then they were not even developing the characters properly.
Yeah.
There was no proper character development. So the guy that is her love interest, who we barely know nothing about, maybe it's not relevant to the story, but at least let us know him. Let us be involved in the character.
Yeah.
It just felt like
there was a part. Sorry, there was a part where he was telling her that he doesn't trust the whole how she's getting close
to the professor.
And me watching the movie, I couldn't really what's the word?
Connect.
I couldn't really connect to it. Like at some point, I was like, she can do whatever she wants to do. At some point, I was even asking, who is this guy? Telling her what to do. Like I couldn't feel that because again, character development. I couldn't feel that connection between both of them. So it didn't really go well with me. Like I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. So
the guy that acted that role is the director's younger brother. So it checks out. It makes a lot of sense. So it does. And it's like, bro, against you, make you ask for his side. Bro.
And you guys wonder why we don't like watching movies. It's because of things like this.
I will say, I'm not even going to say why this thing is paining me. Why this movie is paining me in my heart is because of how much I was anticipating it. So, I mean, example of Lionheart, for example. Lionheart was a meh movie. It was very plain. It was not. But
it was just overhyped.
I didn't hurt as much as this Citation movie. This is me talking out of so much pain. The worst part about this movie is that I know somebody that acted this movie like personally.
Oh.
So now I'm supposed to tell this person what I think about this film. I'm just like I'm just going to not let them see this particular video because I'm going to be like, her acting was great.
Yeah.
It was great giving the script and it was not even a lot of the movie, so I'm happy for that. She's still like kind of new to the scene and it's still working out for her, so I'm happy for that. More exposure to her. But man, guys, you guys should read on Dangling Cause. Try to make us work for it. Don't just give everything. Don't do that, man. Like, okay. So one of the major things that I liked the movie for, I'm going to be very as honest as possible. They didn't go chronologically. So they're in the present, they're in the past, and the present,
I think I enjoyed that part as well.
Revolutionary in the Nigerian movie scene. I've not seen a lot of movies that have done that. However, once we're doing something like that, make us work for it. So it is her story against his story, and he says it in the film. So why don't you make it like when he's narrating some part of the story, which he's lying, make it look like as if he's telling the truth. Because in real life, that happens. The reason why it is hard for people to just believe every rape allegation is because the person that is being accused of rape has some form of repute and they don't want to tarnish his image so quickly. So it's harder for people to want to believe it. But in the film, we understand that he's saying it and they're showing what really happens. Yes, in a proper narrative system. But for film, let it be intriguing. So the thing is, when you create the story like that, when you make us have this so much conflict about who is right, write the movie in such a way that we too who are watching without her.
True.
Because almost everybody kind of pulled away from her, even her boyfriend who is he doubted her at some point. So that's fine.
Yeah.
But let us doubt her too, so that the reveal when she's being vindicated, we too we have this rush of like, oh my God, she was right. But from the beginning,
I knew she was innocent. Like, it was
no,
obvious.
don't do it. This is a
obvious.
film. This is a film. Let us walk. Okay, so how?
Use this movie as an example. That movie of the guy in the hospital, Fractured.
Bro, no, see, let's not talk about Fractured. Fractured is
a masterpiece.
It's up till today. You watch that movie, and at some point you're like, you are so okay.
It's on Netflix. Go on,
you can check it out since you can watch this one on Netflix too.
Yeah.
So in Fractured, what we see is throughout the film, we see this guy. We are on his side.
I was going back. At some point, I'm on this side. At some point, I'm on this side.
It's
and
so
I'm following the
convincing.
guy. It's so cool. They try to convince you in both ways. So you're just like.
But then at the end, when they show that he's actually mentally, you're like, oh my God. And that's what we want. Yeah. That's what movies are supposed to be like.
If you're gonna tell his story, she's story kind of movie, you should make it look like Fractured, basically. That's just what I'm gonna say.
Just make the conflict more.
Yeah.
So there's this part, right, where this is a little spoiler. There's this part where she she taught him how to drive his stick.
Yeah.
So
I remember.
that's how they even got close. She taught him how to drive his stick. But when they went back to Senegal, where he's from, I think, his lecturer was like, the person that like was his mentor was like, oh, I reserved your old Peugeot for you. And then they went and saw that it was a stick shift. And then she's like, that's when she's like, oh, dang it. Like, this guy has been playing her in the movie. And that part of the film is supposed to give us chills. Who are supposed to be like, boy,
You've been driving one for a long time, yeah. But I didn't feel that.
But in the movie, I was like, oh.
Yeah, it was just
right.
Her reaction, everything was just.
I wouldn't 100% blame you on her reaction. See, okay, honest to God, true. This is her first debut movie, but yeah. I feel like if I'm just going to be a little bit more critical, I feel like she could have spent more time engaging in the character. I feel like she could have done that. I feel like she could have spent more time. And this is, I'm saying this all out of the place of, it's not like I have films out there that are, but I can talk about this. I feel like I have a point to make here. She can just try being a method actor because this is a really important topic.
Yeah.
Mostly for what is happening in Nigeria currently. I'm sure it's all over the world too. So she could have dedicated more time to developing it because it's important. So if this is her first debut movie, she's coming out, this is her first movie coming out as an actress, spend more time with paying acting coaches. Develop the acting. Like, let it be like when I watch it, I'm just like, bro. Okay, good example. The director of the movie Old Guard. That was her first, serious, first high-budget film.
Yeah.
Did I notice? Nah, somehow.
I didn't notice actually.
For me, some parts.
Until I checked and I found out.
When they went to, I think, Sudan, the kind of, was this, I can't remember when they actually met in the first place where she was the booker in the Old Guard. Okay. The kind of music they were playing there was kind of, you're like, it was a little bit
off. Yeah.
Because one thing Nigerians are not also looking into is scoring songs for film.
Yeah.
So our music choice, see, there's something about sound in film that carries the nature of a film. So your choice of song at a particular place really matters. The sound you are using really matters. I can only use sound to convince you otherwise. Like you can be happy, like the scene can be a very romantic scene, but if I'm putting a horror sound, you will have this thrill in you. So sound is important. It's really important, but they didn't use that. There's so many elements in this movie that I'm just like, bro.
Well,
You can't see the main reason why I'm talking about this movie like is because I'm so pained. I saw the trailer, I'm like, bro. Honestly, you not understand. I was Chimo, just stop, man. I'm so paid for this.
well,
I'm so paid for this.
I mean, I wasn't expectant or anything. I was just watching.
It was a
the
letdown.
and it was just
It's a huge letdown for
basic
me.
to
I'm
me.
so sad. I'm so pained.
I
Guys.
think that it's a Netflix original. I mean,
I'm not saying. See, I understand that we are getting better. We really are getting better. The quality of the cinematography was actually
alright.
It wasn't bad.
bad.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Honestly, it's something. I'm okay. I can't do. It was good. But man, guys, come on. My own pain too is the fact that this is a very important topic. It's the fact that I anticipated it. This is an important topic. So all these things put together, and for understanding how films could work with the amount of resources they are privy to, and the director of the film has done other previous jobs. So I'm just like, my expectation was, when I even saw the trailer, it actually blew it up the room. And I'm just watching the film. 10 minutes into the film, I actually paused and took a 30 minutes break.
oh, wow.
Because I'm just like,
Shit. Yeah.
they were
See, I'm the one with the most reactions. I'm not even saying or doing anything because I just simply don't care.
Bro, at some point they're like, or more Jackie Chan. Like, they put karate in the film. Why is there karate in the film? Do you know why? The whole essence of the guy being a black belt was so that she could learn how to do self-defense. And you know what her self-defense was? Kicking the lecturer in the balls. That's all. That's the importance of his whole karate life. So that he can.
So she learns.
Look, there was one time we were together here, and he was teaching her self-defense. That if somebody tries to.
Was that before the attempted rape?
Yeah. So, but at the end of the movie, we see that he becomes a black belt. So he was telling her how he's training for black. I'm sure when the writers of the movie came up, they were like, I'm sure this is how they felt. But I'm just like, guys, come on. You cannot design a whole character for just that. Anyway, I'm done. This is too long.
Don't cry.